Alright guys, so this is episode 2 of the Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Raid Shadow Legends. So as you guys know, I was asked before to make a very beginner's guide, and that's why we're here for. What's up guys, this is your boy Rusian with another Raid Shadow Legends video. So, as you guys see now, you can actually see me in this video. The reason why I didn't have myself in the screen the first is so you guys could actually be able to see the whole screen, be able to see the UI and everything else. Listen up, click in the link in the description right now and get a free legendary Karato and 4 amazing epics as you level up. And here are the steps you guys need to follow to be able to get those. Step 1, log out of Player in Play on PC. If you never had Raid installed on your mobile phone before, the link will work in there too. Step number 2, click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Step number 3, launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Step number 4, go to your inbox and claim your first champion. And here you go. You find Karato here, as well as Uugo, Rector Drath, Tagoar, and Mausoleum Mage as you progress through the game. This is an amazing account starting Raid, so click on my link on the description below and follow these steps. So, if you guys did what I told you and focus on campaign, in the first few days, you probably got to this point where I actually finished normal, 3-starred everything, only using Karato and what's my other guy? Jesus, forgot his name. Supreme Gallic. So, we got all the way to this point. Now, when you get to the point that you can't 3-star anymore, and sometimes you can't even 1-star some of the campaign, and that's how we're gonna fix that problem, right? Because you want to keep progressing, but you don't want to spend your resources in things you don't need to. Alright, so the first thing is, if you guys take a look in here, I was able to come all the way to here, but I could not beat this boss. What is okay sometimes, if you can't beat a boss, just hold on, come back to him. But the problem is when you start 1-star everything, right? So in this case, I had to use, on stage 5, I had to use 2 of my other champions, just take some of the hits away from my 2 main ones. But the problem is, if I keep 2-starring everything else, I just gonna be wasting resource because I'm gonna have to come back. So that's what we're gonna be doing right now, and is, instead of that, and I already done, so I'm just gonna show you guys. You're gonna start focusing a little bit on the arbor missions, right? So in this case, I already finished the first one, and one of the reasons why you want to do that is mostly because of the gems, okay? If you're a new player, if you're not a new player, you will want to focus on that, basically because you want to have the potion keeps open to be able to complete most of them and get far long enough to probably get your first sacred shard from the arbiter mission, and then you're probably gonna get a little stuck, okay? Because that being said, and it's something that is pretty much a rule, I tried in multiple accounts, never happened before, and it's fused just before day 5, okay? It just doesn't happen. You're not able to actually get the last one of the champions. You need to fuse him until around that day. Plarian, if you're hearing that and you say I'm wrong, please prove that I'm wrong, okay? I'll do what? I'll tell you what, I'm gonna run one account, I'll actually spend money opening shards, and I guarantee I'm not going to get the champion I need before day 5. Maybe day 4.5, give or take. Alright, so this is what you guys gonna be focusing on to be able to get more gems, and you're gonna try to clear as much as you can. A lot of those missions will be already cleared, as you guys will notice, because they have to do with clearing campaign. So get as much as you can because you need to have at least 800 gems, okay? And I'll tell you why, because the moment you get stuck, one of the things that will help you, so there are 2 things that would help you. One of them is gear. The problem with gear is you're probably not high enough to actually run dungeons to a certain stage that you get decent gear, and you just sink energy in there, what is really not worth the end of the day. So the moment you get 800 gems, you can come in here, and I will choose Supreme Gallic to do so, and you will buy your Masteries. Now, this being said, I always say in the channel, do not use gems to buy Masteries. And let me explain why. You guys are new, let me tell you why. So if you can come all the way down to the Minotaur. So Minotaur is where you get the scrolls for your masteries. Okay, if you can clear stage 15 of the Minotaur, you will save. So you use 800 gems to be able to get all your masteries, right? But if you can clear stage 15, you will get all the scrolls and still have about 200 energy plus saved up using 800 gems. So basically you'll be saving energy by just running Minotaur stage 15. And the second thing is, as you run, you're also going to be leveling champions if you have champions you want to level, and you're going to be getting silver. So you'll be getting more stuff by just running the dungeon instead of buying the masteries. Okay, but the thing is, at this point of the game, you'll not be able to. So we're going to be coming in here, and let me tell you right now, I am not going to do a guide about the masteries in the beginner's level because it's a lot of information. So I'll tell you guys how to do it without having to do that much work. Okay, I move my computer in here so I'm facing the screen. All right, so what you want to do, all right, I'm having some problems pulling the screen, but basically what you guys want to do is you're gonna go to hellhades.com and they have a list of champions. You type the name of the champion you want to get the masteries for, right? So I know you guys can't see. I've been have some issues sometimes when I try to pull the screen. I don't know, maybe I have to update OBS right now. But basically, if you scroll all the way down, it will give you the masteries. Those are the basic masteries for him. A lot of times, when you guys have more experience, you may realize you may need a different mastery set, right? So you just change up. It's okay. It's actually free to change for the first time. Second time, I believe it's like 200 gems to change your masteries. So I will be choosing the boss killing. That probably eventually gonna change to Hydra. So I have all fancy here, and I'm gonna get all scrolls. And there you go, 800, boom, 800 gems gone, just like that. So I'm gonna come in here, down on King's Strike, Heart of Glory, Life Drinker. It will give you a little bit of energy every time you actually hit your enemy. Increased damage inflicted, good for me. There you go. Decreased chance of decreased cooldown of skill, increased damage. So pretty much you want to cause as much damage as you can to your enemies. And that's what I'm going for. In the end of the day, because I chose Clan Boss, right? I will come to War Master because it will give bonus damage of 10% of the enemy's max HP. What the Clan Boss has a lot of it. So you're gonna cause a lot of damage. Now, if you guys notice, I cannot get it, even that I have the scrolls. And the reason is because I'm not 6-star. So the last one you can only get if you're 6-star. And the one before that if you're 5-star. So, all right, so in the other side, so you can only pick 2, right? You can only pick 2 lines. The second one, I'm gonna choose accuracy because the more accuracy I have, the more chance I have to actually cause burns from Gallic. That's the thing, every time you have something that lands that it's red, what it means a debuff from your champion, you will need the accuracy. More accuracy, there you go, just pump the accuracy. More accuracy, boom. What else? Base stats of bones of all artifact sets. So this case, so we have some artifact sets that will give you extra accuracy or extra speed or anything like this. In this case, having Lore of Steel will give a bonus on top of the artifact set, right? So I want this as well. And last but not last, 30% chance of extended duration of any debuff cast by the champion by 1 turn. What it means, instead of like 2 turns burn, a lot of times he may be putting a 3 turn, okay? But it's great because by the time the burn's done, I can already put a new burn on. Okay, so that's just a basic explanation why I chose those, okay? And as I said, I got them from hellhades.com. There are many other choices you could do. Some of them, if you know the way you're running, you want your allies to actually die because you're just running food. There are a couple of others that actually gonna raise your speed by each one of your allies that are down. So with time, you guys gonna learn, but this is a very basic guide, Okay, so just going there, it's the basic vanilla ones, okay, that work and work really well. All right, guys, so I already got those. So let's, before we actually run the campaign and see if that worked, if that was enough, instead of having to like try to work on gear. One very important thing, and I was thinking about that yesterday already. So you guys are getting shards right now, okay? And trust me, you're gonna have that itch feeling of like, maybe I should pull my shard, and maybe, just maybe, I'm gonna get that major champion that's gonna change the account. Your account's not that old, so it's not gonna change anything. And basically, you guys already have two very good legendary champions that can carry you for a little while by themselves, okay? So don't worry about that. What you have to worry about is when you see events. So in this case, today, for me, is a good time to pull Void Shards, not Ancient Shards. And the reason is, I have good champion boosts, what is fine. And by the way, good champions is good if you have a really big amount of shards to open. Same thing goes when you see like 10x, 15x, 25x chance of pulling the champion you really want to. Because we have over 800 champions, okay? Even at 25x, unless you have a massive number of shards, not gonna be coming in. Maybe if that's a epic champion, but when you go into legendary, your chances are almost zero. Okay, so let's pull those two shards and let's see if we get anything to help the account. All right, first shard, let's roll, and it's Chevalier. By the way, I'm not going through the kit. Chevalier, nothing really to care. If I pull something that matters to the account, I'll show you guys. All right, and not horrible. I mean, the reviews will tell you, like, campaign, she's good, but you're not gonna be using her in campaign. You may actually use her in things like Faction Wars, Fire Knight. It may be interesting in the most early in the account, and the main reason is she attacks one enemy 2 times. Attacks one enemy, decreases the target's turn meter by 20% if the attack's critical, and attacks all enemies, remove 1 random buff from each enemy. Now, if you guys use her, if you don't have a Fire Knight champion, use her because 2 reasons. One, A1 that hits twice, more than 1 time. It will help you at least in the beginning, but mostly the A2 because Fire Knight, you do want to decrease his turn meter. He's also one of the few bosses that you can reduce the turn meter. So just keep in mind, she's alright, but not a count changer, okay? And that's what I'm saying, like, even on a 2x chances are you're not pulling the champion you actually want. So better, but you have a better chance. So if you got it open, unless you have to for some weird reason, hold on to your shards until you see a massive event, 2x, guaranteed champion, things like this. Okay, so I am holding on to my ancient shards. Now, mystery shards, open those things as much as you want, okay? Really, open them because you can get rare champions from there, and that's usually what's gonna up, you know, your roster in the beginning. All right, enough of talking about those champions. Let's go now and let's try to run the campaign. So before, I could not pass. For one, I couldn't pass. All right, I could not pass the boss of the Deadlands, right? So let's see if now I can. I probably can't because my issue was Karato, not actually Gallic. But Gallic now is just destroying those guys. Look at this. 2 champions to rule them all, okay? All right, so for 1 hit, okay? And like I said, the problem is Karato, but the reason is, let's take a quick look, and that's the second thing you guys have to pay attention. So Karato right now, he's running the worst gear in the whole entire planet, okay? He got 1 and 2 stars, and this is a major issue. So what we have to do is we need to look at gear, right? Now, the reason why I had him on life steal was because in normal, that was still enough to keep him alive, okay? What is not now the case. So he got command damage. What honestly, command damage at this, if you don't have 100% command crit rate, crit damage will not do much for you. So let's take a look. HP could help, but we'll spend a lot of silver to level this. Crit rate, so now that's where you have to make a choice. So I have been keeping Gallic as my main, but he does have an attack glove, okay? And I don't want to mess too much with his stuff because trust me, even at this point, yeah, this glove I may hold for a little while. They don't really have gear I will be keeping for long, okay? So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take this glove and I will upgrade to level 12. Now, remember I said you don't get anything more than level 12 when it's like 4-star or below? This is true, but it's not a rule. In certain situations, if you see you're getting stuck for whatever reason, you may choose to go to 16. Now, the only ones I'm telling you that are worth going to 16 would be gloves or boots or chests, okay? Nothing else. So, okay, I got crit rate, so now I have a higher crit rate. And I'm gonna equip this. And the reason why it's good in the beginning, just to get the set going, to help you a little bit, to use 1 or 2 stars, because it's cheap to remove. If I was to remove, for example, let me say, I go to equip this one, now it's 20. And when it's 5-star equipment, it's 50,000 silver. And if that's 6, it's 100,000. So silver goes so fast and you guys don't even realize. So try to save your silver if you can. Wow, look at that. So now I have lifesteal chest piece, 4-star, crit rate, all the good stuff. So I'm gonna upgrade as well. And by the way, I got those sets by running some of the Arbiter missions. So, and that's what I tell you guys. You will get some rewards. Some of your gear in the beginning you're gonna be getting from there. But I'll say don't focus, the most being a new player, don't focus on Arbiter until you feel like, okay, I got stuck, but I have other stuff I can clear without waste my energy. And that's where you go to focus on those. All right, so I got some more crit rate, really good, some more speed. Speed is always really important. Equip. Now let's see, boots. All right, so big choice. Do I put those boots on or not? Let's see what I can get from here first. Because also, okay. By the way, defense, flat stats, horrible row. But it is what it is. Now, I usually would be against. So I have speeds in here, but it's very low. 2-star. So I will get this to level 12. That's a horrible choice. What I'm doing right now is a horrible choice. A 5-star. Gonna cost me 50,000 silver to remove. But if I look how much energy I'm gonna use just trying to pass some of those levels, if he's not strong enough to survive, it's worth for me to spend a little bit more silver, okay? That's what a lot of times you guys have to analyze, and a lot of people may say it was a bad idea for me to run this, but it comes with experience, it comes with your gaming style and everything else. So let's see if now I can pass. So guys, you have to remember, gear will help you survive. And because the more damage you do, the faster damage you do, everything, gonna keep you alive for longer. But also masteries, because masteries will increase the amount of damage you do tenfold sometimes. So look at that. Now they're both hitting harder. So as you see, gear and masteries, boom, not even a problem. Didn't like sweat. The energy was never low enough that I actually worried about. And we got a lot of good damage too. So Karato did less damage, even having a higher crit rate and everything. And a couple of resists. Gallic has the burns, what causes extra damage. Plus, you know, he has his mastery, so he's hitting a lot harder. All right, so this done, what it means now, we can probably move all the way up here. Now, very important to, like, you guys want to get in here, 3-star, and you're gonna be getting sacred shards. Right? Now, when you get in there, you have to start, okay, I gonna go to Brutal. Yes, you will. But I can tell you right now, you're gonna be getting stuck probably around Tilshire or Valdemar Strait. You may start losing some at Palace of Arabia. And the reason is because you don't have 6-star champions. Okay, it's unless you have really good gear, you wouldn't be able to actually start getting that far and 3-starring everything without 6-star. So, and by the way, don't forget to collect your dailies, because you want the weeklies and you want the monthly. That will give you energy, will give you shards and everything else. All right, so let's go back. So how do you get your 6-star? Right, your first 6-star. That, as we know, gonna be Supreme Gallic, because he has masteries. You're gonna come in here and you're gonna see what is food. So everything for me right now in the beginning of the game, Everything that is 2-star or below is food. Now, I'm gonna show you guys a trick, right? So if you go in here, you make it upside down. Boom, simple trick. Now, serious. So I'm gonna look in here. I do know I need Spirit Brews if I want to push some of my champions because Karato is Spirit. I need Magic Brews because Kael is Magic Affinity. And I will need Void Brews, okay? Now, you get brews all the time. Unless you abuse, you're always gonna have them. And probably gonna have more than enough. But in the most beginning, just be careful. So in here, what am I going to be leveling? You see those 1-stars, right? Those rank 1 champions. I'm gonna just pick one. I'm gonna pick this because I have nothing really force that I have that I want right now. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna use 3 of her buddies and 1 force brew, and it's gonna level me all the way to level 10. Now let me show you this. If you're to use a magic brew on her, it only would give me half. I think it's half or 75% off the amount of XP. And that's why you always want to use the same brews. Now, have I used different? Yes. In a pinch, I had hundreds of void brews and I threw them all at my champion. But you also spend twice the amount of silver to use them. So okay, so this is done and I'm gonna upgrade. Then I'm gonna come in here, now that she's the max that she can go, level 10, upgrade rank, and I'm gonna use the other one, and now she's 2-star, okay? So that's how I do with the 1-star champions. Now, 2-star and above. What you guys want to do, and that's why I always say to like clear as far as you can, okay? And it's because you want to go to Brimstone Path. So I don't have cleared on hard. So what you want to do is come to stage 3, and let me explain why. Shields sell for more, okay? So you get more silver by running this dungeon. You could say, why not run the boss? Because the boss gives you actually less HP. That's why. Can give you better awards, it can give you rare artifacts, but trust me, they're not good enough for the amount of energy and the loss of XP you're gonna be losing. So you guys are gonna come in here on 3. Now, he is my main champion. He's the one actually running the show, right? So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna hit multi-battle, and I'm gonna go continue multi-battle even if you lose a battle. I always keep this on. I shouldn't be losing anything, and if you are, you need to step back and maybe go 1 or 2 dungeons back. You're still gonna be getting more XP than losing battles. If you lose a battle, you still get XP, but you get like 75% or something. So it enables super raids, and you're gonna come in here. Now, I don't want any of that gear. So the only thing I need to do is the keeping and selling gear. I just click on set curing. I took the check mark out. So that means I don't want any of that set. Confirm. So I'm gonna edit queue. Now, I should put more than 3, but I'm just putting 3 to show you guys. If you put more, the moment those 3 get to their max level, it will just remove them and put the next 3. And it doesn't matter if they're different levels. The moment one is not got to the max, it will just remove. The only one that will not be removed is Supreme Gallic, because he's the one that started. He's not on the queue. Let me put it like this. All right, so the only thing I need to do is come in here, clicking confirm, start multi-battle, and it's gonna run all the way. So I'm not going to run to the point that those champions get, to their max level. But basically what it does is it's gonna run. Come on, let's at least do this battle. All right, so turn off. Also very close for him right now. So yes, turn off multi-battle, so it's gonna stop running back to back. If I didn't stop, it would just restart. You guys don't even need to be on the computer. So if you need to just level what do we call chickens, you guys just leave the computer running, doing your multi-battles, go chill with the wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, whatever you want. Read a book. When it's done, come back to the computer or your phone and you're ready. So after that, you just come in here. Always remember, and that's a basic rule, like you saw, it took, when I went to upgrade rank, it took 1 champion of 1 star to get a 1 champion of 1 star to 2 star. It's gonna be the same for the following. If you have a 2-star champion max level, to get him or her to the next rank, you need 2 champions. For 3-star champions, 3 champions, 4, 4, 5, 5. So I would need to create 5-star chickens, 5-star chickens, to be able to get one of my legendaries to 6-star. So it takes a little bit of time, but a lot of times if you guys get stuck, the only thing you do is just run whatever foods you want, run some of the arbiter missions, get enough 6-star chickens, 5-star chickens, and level your champ. So yes, guys, that's all we have time for today, and tomorrow we're probably gonna come back, or the following day, with more videos discussing, you know, your new life as a raider. Raider fun? I don't know, Raid Shadow Legends player? Whatever you guys want. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you being here, and as always, I'll see you in the game.